First at 4, President Biden outlines lessons he's learned 1 year after the attack on Capitol Hill.
You can't love your country only when you win. You can't obey the law only when it's convenient.
The president also taking aim at Donald Trump and his supporters, and the former president fires back. Here's Paul.
Yeah, hey, Karen, we still have some snow in the area, and we also have more cold air, reinforcing cold air on the way as well. We'll talk about that and your weekend forecast straight ahead. Devin?
So who will represent the U.S. on the ice in Beijing? As always, Michigan has a strong rooting interest in this weekend's U.S. Skating Championships. I'm Devin Skillion. The story coming up.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, President Joe Biden leads the country in remembrance of a dark day in U.S. history. It's been exactly 1 year since the attack on the U.S. Capitol, and the president says the threat is not over.
Make no mistake about it. We're living at an inflection point in history, both at home and abroad. We're engaged anew in a struggle between democracy and autocracy.
The president was direct and forceful, accusing former President Trump and his supporters of putting democracy at risk. Kimberly Gill continues our coverage this afternoon. Kim, 1 year ago, it was utter chaos at the Capitol.
Karen, good afternoon. January 6th, 2021 is one of those days that stands out in history. You'll probably always remember where you were when you heard and saw the U.S. Capitol was under attack. Supporters of former President Trump stormed the building, trying to stop the certification of the 2020 election.
Those who stormed this Capitol, and those who instigated and incited, and those who called on them to do so, held a dagger at the throat of America, at American democracy. They didn't come here out of patriotism or principle. They came here in rage, not in service of America, but rather in service of one man.
That one man he's talking about was former President Donald Trump, who reportedly watched the attack for about 3 hours before releasing a message asking protesters to go home. The deaths of 5 people are connected to the violence. About 140 Capitol police officers were injured. Most Republicans stayed away from today's events on Capitol Hill, calling them too politicized. One prominent critic of former President Trump sees danger in that attitude.
Unfortunately, too many in my own party are embracing that former president, are looking the other way, are minimizing the danger. That's how democracies die, and we simply cannot let that happen.
Former President Donald Trump canceled a news conference he was going to hold at his Florida home today, but he blasted President Biden's speech in new statements, saying in part, quote, "This political theater is all just a distraction for the fact Biden has completely and totally failed." And he continued to repeat that the election was stolen in spite of several recounts and court decisions saying that that is not true. So, Karen, the remembrances on Capitol Hill have continued throughout the day with moments of silence, as well as lawmakers sharing their experiences during the attack. Some activists will hold a vigil in support of people who've been sent to jail for their roles in the attack. We'll have more coming up on later editions of Local 4 News. For now, though, we'll send it back to you, Karen.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Our coverage continues at 5 with an updated report from Washington, D.C., where those events continue. At 6, one local Democrat deliberately stayed away from the Capitol. We'll show you what she did instead and take you to a local vigil. Plus, clickondetroit.com will be streaming a candlelight vigil from the National Mall in D.C. at 4:45, along with other events as they happen. Well, you may be suffering from coronavirus fatigue, but doctors at Beaumont Hospital say their medical system is at a breaking point and they need your help. First, we have a quick update on booster shots for children ages 12 to 15 years old. Late yesterday, the CDC gave the green light to boosters for that younger age group. We were waiting for the vote just 24 hours ago. Detroit Public Schools started virtual learning today. They put off in-person learning because of infection rates in the city. Hours ago, Beaumont Hospital reported 750 COVID patients across its 8 hospitals. 62% of the infected are unvaccinated, and 8% have a booster shot. Officials expect things to get worse.
I wish I could stand here and just throw that haymaker that's going to make everyone stand up and take notice. But I think it's really the same message that we've been pushing for several months. People need to get vaccinated. People need to be wearing masks when they're out in public, especially when they're around a crowd. If you're sick with symptoms, you need to stay home. You need to work on getting tested.
Beaumont also says a federal team will stay with the health system for an additional 30 days. Right now, more than 430 Beaumont employees are out with COVID. Detroit police credit a proactive approach for the reduction of violent crimes across the city last year. The department reports a 4% drop in homicides, a 9% drop in non-fatal shootings, and a 17% decrease in robberies in 2021. DPD says a 5-point plan was put in place last June when Chief James White took over the department. Tonight at 5, we're going to take a closer look at that plan and hear from the police chief about how it relates to the new numbers. Commuters were forced to avoid a section of I-696 in Macomb County this morning, blame this massive truck fire on westbound 696 at Mound Road. It started before 5 this morning. The truck was carrying wood pallets, which made that fire even worse. We're told the truck was not involved in a crash, so the cause is under investigation. No one was hurt. The westbound lanes of 696 reopened just before 1:30. The evening commute should be much better for you. In your first forecast, oh, it's cold outside, and some of you might still see some snowflakes. Meteorologist Paul Gross standing by with our first forecast.
Yeah, hey, Karen. Indeed, there are some snowflakes out there. And if you or somebody you know is heading west on 96 right here toward Grand Rapids, there's not a hole in the pattern here. It is snowing here as well. I'll explain that in about 10 minutes. But basically, northern half of our area, we have some snow, and it gets even more intense over the western side of the state, closer to Lake Michigan. And as you mentioned, Karen, it is cold out there. Temperatures are barely around 20 degrees. In fact, Adrian, you're not even at 20. You're in the upper teens. Wind chills are in the single digits to near 10 degrees out there, and tomorrow is going to be a day a lot like today from a temperature standpoint, but not from a weather standpoint. I'll have that forecast for you coming up as well. But this evening, temperatures just falling slowly into the upper teens. The snow will gradually wind down by late evening, but we still have some of that around, and it's going to shift southward during the evening. But then tomorrow, we're going to get the sun back out of here, back out. So we'll talk about all that in your weekend forecast straight ahead, Karen.
All right, thank you, Paul. Ready or not, the Winter Olympics are just weeks away. Detroit has long been the center of American ice dancing, and while much of the training has shifted to Montreal recently, there are still some strong Michigan connections. Devin Scillian takes a look at the two veteran pairs hoping for a return Olympic engagement.
Of all the things that can happen at an Olympiad, of all the possible results after 4 years of training and dreaming, some would suggest a fourth-place finish is the toughest. Fourth is so impressive, and yet it's one step off the podium.
The last games, we had factors that were either a distraction or disappointment, and we were, in a very different mentality than we're in now, and I think our headspace is a lot healthier.
Healthier is an interesting word to use just now. The pandemic leaves skaters knowing that just about any event can be canceled at a moment's notice. And the team of Madison Hubble and Zach Donahue know that this is their last go-round. After more than a decade of twirling around the ice together, this year marks the end of a long, beautiful dance. All of that experience has led to an important revelation. It is not the medal or the title that they'll miss. It's the moment when it all comes together on a thin sheet of ice.
In a high-pressure year, it's really easy to get wrapped up in our goals and wanting to be on the Olympic podium. And, we carry that drive with us every day. But when it comes time to perform, those are those special minutes that we can't get back.
They don't have to look far down the ice to find their chief American rivals. While Hubble and Donahue are the reigning U.S. champions, it's Madison Chock and Evan Bates vying to become the first American ice dance team to qualify for 3 Olympiads. A couple on and off the ice, they too feel better than ever.
Completely different than who we were 4 years ago going into the games. Our mindset is different. We're definitely the strongest that we've ever been, mentally, physically, and together as a couple.
Evan Bates may make history on 2 fronts. After first qualifying with Emily Samuelson, he's trying to become the first American skater in any discipline to appear in 4 Olympic Games. But even for him, things feel very new at the moment.
In Finland, we had an audience, and it was just it was so fun to skate for a live audience again. Gosh, we feel very grateful for what we've got.
American athletes are going to face a ton of questions about the setting for these games. Human rights activists have asked the U.S. to boycott a Chinese Olympiad. Bates believes human rights concerns get a better hearing if the athletes are there.
I think to boycott the games would be to not take the opportunity to shed light on this topic. And so, we're here and we will field the question and speak about how important it is to come together and to represent the Olympic movement, which is all about, togetherness and humanity.
It was actually the third team that managed to medal for the Americans in Pyeongchang, the Shibutanis, Alex and Maya, the Shib Sibs, but they've retired from competition. So it's up to the old guard to carry the American torch. I'm Devin Skillion, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Devin. Both dance teams have ties to Michigan. Madison Hubble is from Lansing and Evan Bates from Ann Arbor. Plus, both teams trained in Metro Detroit before moving to Montreal. Their competition gets underway tomorrow, and you can watch it on Local 4 tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.